Good morning everyone and welcome back to another Krebsko replay cast. This time around we're going to be doing a 2v2 on your guys' favorite map. That would be Pointe Du Hoc. Now I'm just making assumptions here. I believe it should definitely be one of your favorite maps because I don't know, I just absolutely love this map. I've loved it since I first started playing this game 4 years ago, and yeah, I still absolutely love it. And we've almost never ever see a replay that has to do anything on this map. It's usually you get rails and metal or Woofhees that we usually see 2v2s on, so it's absolutely refreshing to be seeing people playing on this map. And who we're going to be specifically looking at today? Well, we're going to be looking at two players for the Axis side. One goes by the name of NTD. He is the PE. Everyone knows NTD. The other one is Key of Wall as the Wehrmacht. Alright, so both players very well known. Now switching on over to the allies, we've got MxZeroFlames as the Brit and his ally T98 tank. So this is truly a vanilla co and opposing fronts matchup today. So we've got literally every single faction out there, 2v2, gonna be battling out, dishing out to the center. Now just before I start the game, I have one quick important message, and it's totally not co-related. If you guys have seen my messages on the Company Fears forums, Game Replays, or on my channel, I have mentioned that I'm doing a project for university. It is for pharmacy. If you guys don't know by now, I'm studying pharmacy. I am in 3rd year, and we have a competition in our pharmacy year that we have to raise awareness for some sort of cancer by doing that through a video. And so we're specifically doing that awareness through young people, and this video that I have done is what I'm going to be showing you guys in just a sec, a few clips. And what I would really appreciate is if you guys could please check it out. Just please check it out, because it's a competition. Whoever gets the most views wins. And we're getting close to being in the lead, so I know with your guys' support we could actually win that. And I did put in a lot of effort. I've done all the filming, all the editing. Right, so it's all for a good cause, so please check it out. Here is a few seconds of the video right in front of you. Okay, and there you go. So that is my video. That is only a wee short clip, so please check it out. I'm going to provide a link just above in a wee bar and also below in the description. Just please check it out. It really is for a good cause, and it will definitely appreciate. I will definitely appreciate what you guys do. In fact, I'm going to make a setting. So if you guys can help me reach, we're at about 220 views at the moment. If you guys can help me reach about 1,300 in the next few days, if you guys can actually do that, just go on that link, watch it for I don't know 8 seconds so it counts as a view. Just watch that link, leave a comment or anything. I will do a double cast for you guys. I will do 2 casts in one day, just because of my appreciation for you guys actually putting in the effort. Right, so let's get this game started. We're at the 5-second mark, and we're going to be starting in 3 seconds. So in 3, 2, 1, and go. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, yep, that's it. Alright, so all of you people that are watching this on the actual replay, so, well, there you go, I'm counting you in. See how I would like to count everybody in, so all of you who are watching this video have no problems. It's the easiest way to format, format to watch, and all of you would like to watch replays. Well, I'm helping you enjoy that wee progression to actually doing that. Right, so off the get-go, we have the PE capturing a munitions point just beside the base. Now let's talk about Pointe Du Hoc, since I don't believe we've actually ever done this map. Maybe we have once, I can't exactly remember, but maybe that was a while ago. I'm sure some of you fans know better than I do. Right, so basically this is Pointe Du Hoc. Almost every single point on here is a low point, except a few stray plus 10 munitions point. But this is where the important stuff comes about. The center, look at, or at the bottom center actually. Plus 10 munitions, plus 10 fuel. The only plus 10 fuel on the map right here at the bottom. So you can expect a lot of people will want this place. They will want it. Okay, and now these points are very vital cutoff points. Now look at it. Look how this place stretches. So if you want to actually start capturing the places over here, you're either going to need one of the points, one of those 2 points, and they all have their advantages. So you could be down here, and people could be up here. There's also bunkers. Bunkers, wow. Now, I really haven't played this map in a while, but I remember, maybe I'm thinking of Company of Heroes Online, but I was always thinking that the bunkers were taken out. Fair enough, I guess the bunkers are there. Oh well. Okay, so quick drink of water, and there you go, let's watch the action. So there you go, we got some engineers going down, and the Panzer Elite putting the hurt into those American Yankees, those Yankee Doodles. Right, so what else have we got? We got the Brits just placing down a mortar on the center side. At the back, we bit, and that's going to be absolutely perfect at taking on anyone. This MG42, will he realize that there are a bunch of infantry right there, placing down a mortar? Doesn't look like it, but there's a motorbike right there, so he could actually be potentially revealing the positions of the Brits, and oh no! Oh no! You can see that the MG42 is just packing itself up because it wanted to get near those guys and take it out, but that mortar placed down, and you can just tell Kiev Wall is struggling to think, where should I go cap? Now, a lot of people when they're playing Pointe Du Hoc, especially the Wehrmacht, and the Brits on this side, would actually start moving in towards the this top side and fight along here and maybe towards the center. That's what a lot of people actually do in Pointe Du Hoc. But it seems like these players are very keen on the center and below. So the center, so think of it as your abs, your abdominals, and your bowel and below. I know I'm just totally relating everything to my bowel cancer promotion video, but please, as I said, check it out. Anyway, so there we go. We've got just everyone focusing down here, and rightly so, because I mean, look at all the points, the very vital cutoff points, and all these higher valued points as well, strategic points. So it is definitely important. Alright, so we've got MG42 just about to suppress these guys, but surprisingly enough, their suppression is just not coming down. Why? I have absolutely no clue. They should be suppressed by now. What? Kiev Wall is even doing something, but I'll rep when he retreats? What the hell? I'm so confused. How come they weren't getting suppressed? I have no idea. I don't think recon squads are suppression resistant. Not that I know of. I'm pretty damn sure I'm pretty sure no squad is suppression resistant. I have no idea why they were not being suppressed. Maybe it's because I actually have no idea, guys. Don't ask me why. Okay, right. So for the Wehrmacht, let's take a look at the build orders. So this is the PE actually. So he's leapfrogged up from the Kampfgruppe company up to a Panzer command and is producing an armored car. Standard stuff. That means he probably has like something 3 Panzer Grenadiers. Usually we see 4, but you know, fair enough. Who cares? He's going for 3. Let's see Kiev Wall. Switching on over to Mr. Kiev Wall. He's got a T2 being upgraded at the moment, and Wehrmacht quarters as per usual. Obviously, you would never see a Wehrmacht player without the Wehrmacht quarters unless they went for a forward HQ and used that to jump on up to either T2 or T3. So that is the only reason, time when you would actually see that. Alright, so lots of infantry here, lots and lots of infantry. The Allies look like they have quite a strong hold of the center, which is very, very crucial. Why do I say that? Because look at this. Look at where the axes have to come out of. They have to come out of this area. They have to come out of that area. Of course, the odd thing about Pointe Du Hoc is that you can come around here. This is a very stray place at the back of your map. All the points where the Allies are, for example, if we look at the tactical map, are along the side and forward. Now, some points for the axes on the right-hand side are actually backwards, so that makes it kind of inconvenient because you have to move your units back there. So the main gist, the general idea is try to cap those points at the back ASAP as soon as possible. Get them out of the way with, they'll be captured, and most likely you will have them for the rest of the game. Whilst the Americans, for example, on the left-hand side will actually maybe struggle a little bit in terms of holding those points. I suppose that is the trade-off. Whether you want to capture, have a little bit of hassle, or have those points for longer. Personally, I think having the points for longer would help more. But, you know, those few extra seconds to be on the field could help a lot. But the Kettenkrats, for example, you know, with the PE, no problem capping. They could easily just cap those back points, and that's pretty much negated. Alright, so these guys still quite suppression resistant. There we go, being pinned down at last. That lieutenant in the back providing a bit of bonuses, obviously. And these men are so damn hardy. Jeez, I have absolutely no clue why these guys just are not willing to die today. Absolutely no clue. Well, the armored car looks like it's going to be getting on in there to help them out a bit. That's exactly what they need. Come on, armored car, get on up in there. And they're just about to get up there. Right, and the Allies taking a little bit of damage, and so let's go see what's happening with the Brits. Brits have just placed down that mortar mortar right there. Also, the HQ command truck is on top of this munitions point. So switching on over to, who is it? T-98 tank. He's got all of this. And hold on, maybe I'm on the wrong player. Yeah, I believe I'm on the wrong player. And there we go. So he's placed down his forward HQ or his headquarters command truck. Where's he actually placed it down? He's actually placed it down in the fuel over here. Okay, right, fair enough. So if you look at the tactical map, we can see how much it stretches along over here. So he's literally just on the edge of it. Maybe he was thinking about putting it on a munitions point, but he missed. I have absolutely no clue. But he's also got a casualty clearing center down right in the front. So, man, that is going to be such a hassle. Could you imagine somebody placing down their HQ basically just on the on the area where you're supposed to attack, the battlefield, the main front? That is going to be very difficult. I mean, the axes have to go all the way over here, let alone the Wehrmacht, which is just near the top of the area. The Brits, in my opinion, had quite a nice placement because they could just move their HQ down here, and that's fine. Their Americans are still nearby. They're just literally over here, right? Alright, so let's see what else is going on. Just the armored command trucks taking a little bit of damage here, along with the motorcycle, but the motorcycle generally should be okay, just needs to get repaired up, and we've also got a sniper out in the field. Interesting stuff. For the Americans, what we got is a barracks along with a supplier being produced, so switching over to T-98 tank now. He's got multiple riflemen and also one engineer, surprisingly. Maybe he lost an engineer or something, no idea, but yeah, exactly, that's just very standard stuff. Nothing really different here in terms of strategies in this game, but however, I've watched this already, and trust me guys, it's such a damn stalemate. It's going to become ridiculous, and one mistake changes the whole thing, I suppose you could say, and I will pinpoint that when it comes later on, but really, you have no clue who's going to win this. Absolutely no clue. I'm not going to spoil it either. I mean, these guys, for example, the Brits so damn close to the front, the Axis in high numbers, but the Brits, trust me, they have such a great hold right now. That mortar, for example, is just, I mean, the Axis have absolutely nothing to counter this, if you think about it. I mean, they don't have any Panzerschrecks or AT at the moment. They can't actually counter it. You know, maybe armored cars could do a little bit of damage, but nothing substantial, nothing like a few rockets to the gut of that vehicle. Now, we have the Panzer Support Command being produced, and that is the AT half-track, a light AT half-track, coming out just to worry about any sort of early armor that might be coming out. I mean, we've seen riflemen without any bars, so that could be a hint at some sort of rush to M8s. For example, we've just got the motor pool produced, and we've also got a Stuart coming out. So where was the Stuart produced from? He had to be produced from some sort of field support truck, and it was over here. Okay. Me is confused a little bit. Maybe the field support truck was placed up there somewhere, but that's the Stuart tank out, and so he is just firing away. Fire, you Stuart, fire! Attack those armored cars, but be careful because there are already grenadiers out with Panzerschrecks. Okay, now, you know, I've been thinking about stuff a lot lately. Now, I've been going, you know, being a troll on the forums, not literally a troll, I haven't been abusing people, but, you know, I've been lurking around the forums and stuff like that, and, you know, one thing I notice with a lot of people, okay, one thing I do notice with a lot of people, for example, is, especially newer ones, is that they like to say, oh, I play this game and I have lost to this faction, therefore this faction is OP. A lot of people believe that the Panzer Elite, for example, are OP. OP means overpowered. Okay, first off, terms of usage, do not use OP. Nothing is OP in this game, nothing is overpowered. It can only be unbalanced, alright? Now, the PE, I'll say this from more experience, I think it's better to listen to people with more experience in this game, such as the pros and people with many years of experience than ones who just only know how to play one faction. The Panzer Elite are not OP, they are not unbalanced, okay? Basically, you can think of their vehicles, yes, they are strong, yes, they will kill, however, they are glass cannons. As I've mentioned in previous casts, they are glass cannons, okay? So you can think of them, they take a lot of damage very, very easily, and they're very easy to destroy. So say if you had a PID squad right now, one single PID would just almost annihilate half of armored cars' health. It would just basically wreck these things with no problem. So if you think about it like that, glass cannons destroy so easily, and they cost quite a bit, then that is huge losses. That's absolutely huge losses for the Panzerli if they do lose their vehicles like that. The only thing that I could consider unbalanced, I've hit on this in a previous cast before as well, is the fact that late game armor for Wehrmacht, more so PE, is a bit unbalanced in my opinion. Just the fact that it costs 1,000 manpower for a Panther battle group, it's ridiculously good. I've had to face it a few times as Americans, and I've used it a few times as PE. And basically, if I'm Americans, I can't destroy. If I'm Americans or British, I can't destroy those tanks. If I'm a PE, nobody can destroy my tanks. Okay, it becomes a bit ridiculous. 1,000 manpower, it takes so long to destroy them, and by the time they are destroyed, people will just be able to afford another set of Panthers, and it's just ridiculous. It becomes just too difficult. Now some of you might be saying, oh well, you know, the PE have to suffer in the beginning or something like that. Not really. A lot of factions are quite balanced in this nowadays. I mean, as we saw, we had Panzerschrecks out and light AT half track just as the Stuart came out. So there's really no argument in terms of this early, you know, bonuses or shenanigans, stuff like that. Maybe the riflemen can capture early. Yes, I agree with that. However, stuff is about balanced. I just don't think the PE tanks are balanced in the late game. Right, so there we go. We've got just a bunch of skirmishing going down along the bottom side. The PE are just going to get massacred here. I mean, we got that Stuart tank that is massacring everyone. Chase down those guys. Come on, come on, come on. And they just literally got out of there in the nick of time. One of those squads was just about dead. Panzerschrecks just firing away. And this is another very funny argument. As I was saying just a few seconds ago about unbalances, I saw somebody else that mentioned, oh wow, that squad got annihilated. Trying to capture the MG42, just got absolutely wrecked by a grenade. Another argument, silly argument that I saw was somebody saying that, oh, I believe Piets should not do any damage, or Piets should do a lot more damage, because Panzerschrecks, when they hit someone, they instantly KO, knock out someone. First off, anti-tank weapons should almost never kill anyone. However, when they do land spot on, they should. Okay, first off, the thing in the previously in the other patches was that Piet's done a ridiculous amount of damage to infantry, which they should not have done, and so it has rightly been balanced. Panzerschrecks are very inaccurate against infantry, so you'll almost never see them one-hit KO people. But when they do, how would you feel if a rocket hit you in the body? Would you survive? Chances are you wouldn't. So that's that's another sort of silly thing. Just, you know, who really cares? I mean, there's nothing really difficult about it. Piets aren't meant to do damage. Panzerschrecks are very inaccurate against the infantry, so it's nothing really much to worry about. Okay, so the Brits are just still maintaining quite a strong hold here, but they're on a very heavily infantry-oriented strategy. Now, the pros and cons about heavy infantry strategy, well, first off, you got lieutenants. It's very, very strong. Don't get me wrong, but blobs of Brit infantry are ridiculously strong when they are used correctly. However, one thing that you can say about them is that they are so damn costly. Everyone knows the ridiculous amount of manpower costs for the Brits, and also their ridiculous reinforcement costs. Now, imagine, if you will, so many anti-tank, anti-infantry stuff on the field, like these armored cars, taking out so many guys. That is going to be very, very expensive to, in order to upkeep all of these infantry squads and keep them to fully manned squads. That's gonna cost a load of manpower. Now, obviously, you could say, oh well, the Brits always float manpower. Sure enough, but still, it is very, very costly, and in the long run, in my opinion, it will be the detriment of the British strategy. Right. So it looks like we've got some sort of howitzers on the field, and that is MxZeroFlames with his 25-pound gun howitzer out on the field. So let's go switch on over to somewhere else and take a look what's going on. We've got a bunker strategically placed on the top of this hill, facing down towards that VP, which is actually covering it. How nice, isn't it? I mean, just let's take a look at that wee bunker. It's like Normandy on land, just this one wee bunker guarding that VP. Very good to be doing that. 376 for the Allies, 414 for the Axis at the moment. And what is going on? We've got some sort of mortars coming down. Maybe that is from a mortar half-track, perhaps, or something. Well, I don't know. We've got a bit of action going down south. We've got the tread breaker going down on top of the Stewart tank, taking out its treads, and also its main gun is gone. And it looks like, whoa! Everyone is literally missing this tank. There we go, finally doing it. And that is why everyone was saying, oh my god, because all their shots were missing. These light Stewart tank. That would have been funny if they just kept on missing. They had to get out of there. Alright, first M10 coming out in the field. Everyone is relocating. They've just done their damage down below and they need to support the center now. Oh no, M10 just coming out, flanking speed. They really need to get out of there as fast as possible. Look how ridiculously fast they are. Nothing can catch up to that. Especially on a road, they go that fast. If they were on normal land, they wouldn't. But on a road, they just go ridiculously fast. And we've got the 1898 tank just heading on up. And NTD is saying that he's getting Panthers in a sec, so he's got all the necessary buildings. Obviously, you can't get Panthers if you get the logistics company. Technically, you could if you got all 4 buildings, but if you just have the logistics company and the 2 other buildings, for example, you couldn't get a Panther battle group. So he obviously has those 3 buildings that are required, and there we go. The Panthers are just coming out on the field. Now, another funny thing that I should note is that in another game, I believe there's actually a small chance of Panthers actually coming out. If you call out Panther battle group, that only a single Panther will come out. I believe that's almost hardly ever. Maybe it's actually a bug. I have absolutely no idea. But one of my friends, I was playing a 3 vs 3 the other day, and one of my friends, Sergey, actually called out a Panther battle group. He only got a single Panther out of it. So for 1,000 manpower, we got a single Panther. That is half the force and half the expense, or double the expense. That was absolutely ridiculous, but it's sort of funny at the same time. We still won, but you know, it's sort of funny. So there you go, all these infantry heading on towards the center. It looks like the axes were pushed back slightly, but those Panthers are going to be such a big, leave such a big dent into the allies. Obviously, we can already see the one M10 going down, not even managing to kill anything. So that is very upsetting to be losing an M10 like that. What do we have for the doctrinal choices? Let's go take a round around everyone and see what everyone has for doctrinal choices. We have the infantry doctrine for the allies. They have gone down along the right hand side, so they have that let's see, defensive operations down along the howitzer chute, then towards the howitzer. Maybe they're going to be working along the left hand side. Let's see what's happening with MxZeroFlames. He's actually saving up a lot of CP at the moment. Okay, interesting. NTD has a Panther battle group, but still no real selection. And Kiev has the defensive doctrine. And oh god, fortify the perimeter. Is that along the left hand side? I believe it might be. Or no, it's not fortify the perimeter. It's for the Vaudland, sorry. Actually, I think that might be on the... Oh god, I really can't remember now. Maybe it's on the right hand side. I know if you go down along the left hand side, you get the fortified perimeter and stuff like that, and all that great shenanigans. I think it actually might be down along the right hand side. But anyway, so we've got all this stuff right here in the center. Lots and lots of focusing on the center. I mean, this is where all the action is, and this is what I mean about stalemates. It's just so hard to actually move on forward. And there you go, the Panthers being so very, very difficult to destroy. We've even got packs captured by the Brits at the moment. You can see multiple packs captured by the Brits, and that is very, very interesting indeed, that they have actually captured some Wehrmacht packs out on the field. So I wish we actually seen that, but it did happen somewhere. And wow, those howitzers are really leaving some dents into the Wehrmacht at the moment. I mean, just really, really pummeling these guys. So that's one howitzer right there. Is there another one out on the field? Because it looked like there was a second one somewhere. There might be. Yep, that's the American howitzer. Yep, so he's already gone fully along the right hand side of the infantry doctrine. Cool indeed. And there we go, all these guys. Now, one very cool thing to note is, look, there's veterancy bonuses on the packs. Okay, so that is from the lieutenants. There's veterancy bonuses on the packs. How cool was that? Now, you can imagine. Now, you know, there's very the infantry or the lieutenant veterancy is very interesting. Basically, it gives bonuses on a whole bunch of different fronts, such as accuracy and damage. So you can imagine how effective these packs must be. With all that accuracy and damage increases, wow. They must be absolutely mental at killing guys. So, yeah, definitely indeed, they will be very hard to get destroying tanks. And that's probably what they need at the moment, actually, just to be able to destroy these Panthers. So, Panthers, beware. Alright, so one AT gun going down. Very unfortunate. It seems like the ally is actually losing a lot of his guys this round. We've actually noticed a lot of his guys being killed. We've also noticed a lot of the Axis guys being killed because, well, we saw the MG42 go down. We've also saw these packs go in the hands of the Brit. And here is a symbol. A symbol indeed. Okay, so this symbol is obviously reminiscent of the doctrines. Now, I have not memorized the symbol. I don't know where to look them up, but I'm sure I'll try to do it. Now, from prior experience of this symbol, key of all, hold on. NTD, MxZero. Here we go, that's MxZero. Here we've got a symbol for the Brits. And now, from prior experience of watching this replay, now I don't actually know what the symbol is. Now I actually know what it is, but it's actually the Royal Canadian Artillery Support, okay? So that is a Royal Canadian Artillery Support selected by the Brit. And that's quite interesting. Now, that's a very heavy investment into artillery. That's going to be very useful in situations like this. So if he's got a stable amount of guys, then why not go for it? I mean, let's think about the other doctrinal choices. So say, for example, if you went for Churchills, Churchills are probably not the thing that you want at the moment, especially against Panthers. So I would say no to Churchills. Now, Commandos kind of specific against infantry, but we already have enough infantry, so maybe that's not really needed. Again, Commandos are not affected by Lieutenant and Captain veterancy or bonuses, so maybe that's not really needed. So I suppose the infantry, the Royal Canadian Artillery Support is probably a good idea. Now, there's two ways to actually go down the artillery support, obviously. Along the left-hand side, you get the forward officers barrage ability activated, so your officers can actually start throwing down artillery. Then after that, you get creeping barrages. Ooh, +1 command point. It looks like we have veterancy activated on veterancy 3 activated on that lieutenant, so he gets multiple bonuses. I believe, what is that, +1 command point. I think he actually does other things as well, but I'm not too certain on that front. I think maybe a population increase as well. Alright, so lots of artillery coming down, but as I was saying, down along the left hand side is that creeping barrage, then finishing off with the priest. On the right hand side, what we have is, we have something indeed, we have something, and then we have, I honestly can't remember what comes down along the first, that is the first thing. Oh my gosh, everyone getting wrecked here, everything getting wrecked. The Grenadier blob being very, very good. I can't remember what the first thing is along the right hand side, however I can remember that you have Overwatch afterwards and then counter artillery. Now I do remember what the first one is. It's supercharged artillery, so that your howitzers can actually fire very, very much farther. Same with your mortars as well. They can fire a lot farther than they normally could. And it helps a lot. It definitely does help a lot. So you can literally fire right across the map, not with your mortars obviously, but with your howitzers. No problem! Okay, so all these guys are being chased away, but man, those Axis were doing a bit of hit and run tactics there, going into the Brit base from behind them actually, and destroying one of their howitzers. So doing a hit and run tactic there, just trying to do as much damage as possible, and there we go. So the Axis are falling back slightly, however they're trying to hold on in there as much as possible. 20 kills for this armored car, 20 kills for that armored car. What? They both have 20 kills, and one's veterancy 2 and the other's veterancy 3? Oh, there we go. They're both veterancy 3 now. So they finally activated her. Alright, that's alright. Okay, so there we go. Just a bunch of men moving on forward. Now, this is quite cool, I suppose you could say, that there's so many infantry out on the field. For the Wehrmacht, a whole Grenadier blob. People don't like blobs, but it's so damn effective. It's what they actually need. So veterancy 3 unlocked for those Grenadiers. That means that they have health regen, they have elite armor, they've also got plus 20% max health increase. One armored card finally going down. Oh no, indeed. And that helps a lot in keeping these guys' survivability right on up there. So let's see, do each of these squads have 2 Shreks maybe? Yes, it looks like, no, 1, 2, 3. I can't even count how many there are at the moment. It looks like 3 Shreks. Yep. So one Shrek to each squad. And fair enough. Maybe he's doing that on purpose, because a lot of times people actually go for 1 Shrek, for example, per squad, or 1 gun per squad. The reason they do that is because 2 is a bit excessive. And basically, if you lose 2 guys, then you got to retreat. or else you could potentially lose the third guy and then actually lose a panther, and that's the last thing you want to do, giving your enemy your weapons. So let's see what's happening down south. Some capping going along with the Panzer Grenadiers, and we've got just... This is pretty much entering the late game. This is the late game, actually. This is 26 minutes in. Pretty much all the late game armor is being activated. I mean, we have Panthers out. We've just got a Priest coming out on the field. We saw that just a few seconds ago. And, oh no, these packs are being taken out. The Flames wearing away at them, and also Sniper was trying to take them out. They could have actually finished off that pack if they wanted to, but I suppose being a bit careful and just retreating on back. And here we guys go, some guys moving on in. That's what they actually needed to do. They needed to take out those packs. If they could actually have done that, then they could start potentially moving on in forward. As soon as that anti-tank is gone, then the allies are in such a bad position, because then the tanks can actually move in. So as soon as one part of your strategy falls apart, then everything can, well, fall apart. And there we go. All these guys moving on forward together. The lieutenants, the captain. If you guys don't know, the captain's veterancy only works in your friendly sector, so it's not working for him at the moment. He actually needs to be in this +5 if it's going to work for anyone in that sector. But it doesn't look like it's going to work at all, because he is dead. So it really doesn't matter. Really does not matter now. So what was meant to be some sort of attack by the Axis is a little bit futile at the moment, just because the guns are back in the hands of the Brits. So here we go. This is what I mean about the very costliness of reinforcing such a big infantry blob. Look at that. There we go. All of the manpower is something at like 450. All of the manpower being spent now to reinforce these squads. It's so very costly, and this is it's a very volatile situation, a very bad position to be in if you're spending munition or manpower so quickly. Because say if you have a rainy day, say if you just spent all your manpower, and then you send out your guys, and literally almost all of them are down to one man again, and you only have like 200 manpower, it just puts you in such a bad position. So you need to keep your guys alive. You need to have manpower in order to keep these guys reinforced, and just they're so expensive, and it's a very awkward situation, very awkward strategy to be in. So that's why a lot of people will actually go for infantry and then move on up to tanks afterwards, like Sherman Fireflies and command tanks and stuff like that, just so that it's all you have to do is repair it. That's it. It's a one-time cost, just like the infantry sections, but you don't actually have to spend manpower. Obviously, if you guys want to be more technical and advanced, yes, it does cost manpower to repair stuff, but let's not go into that, because I believe not many people will actually talk about that or know about that. But yes, it does actually cost a little bit of manpower to actually repair vehicles. Alright, so there we go. So stuff is moving on down forward towards the beach. I suppose the Axis are being driven back into the waters. Back! Or no, well, I suppose you could say they're being pushed back into the water. Yes, the Axis, they are going to be doing the invading of Normandy now, rather than the Allies. Yes indeed. Alright, so this mortar half-track is taking a lot of hurt at the moment, but so are the Brits. Look at that, they're taking a whole world of hurt as well. Everything is falling back, and this is where I'm going to be keying in my note of where things are going to be heading wrong. The Grenadiers moving on in to do their damage. Nothing to oppose them at all. And there we go, all of these Shreks just coming down, destroying this mortar in one volley, killing the guys on it anyway. It's still alive, but man, look at that. The Grenadiers are throwing a few grenades out. Oh my god, perfect units, perfectly applicable here in the situation, because their Panther Strike's so damn useful. Veterancy 3 keeping them alive, plus their ability to throw down grenades in such a situation where everyone is grouped up like this. Absolutely perfect. Look at this. Oh my god, killing a whole bunch of them. Oh jeez, really almost no losses, you could say, for the Grenadiers. I mean, lost 2 guys, but that is literally nothing compared to the amount of losses the Brits took there. Just losing that mortar, basically, and also a whole bunch of infantry. And there you go, guys, go again. Look at the manpower of the Brits, just so damn low, and that is the ineffectiveness of having infantry strategy. And also another unfortunate thing is that the lieutenants are gone, so the lieutenants are dead. And yet again, another valid point against going for heavy infantry strategy. As soon as your lieutenants are dead, well, you can sort of think that that is a major loss, because the lieutenants basically applied the veterancy for the entire infantry, for all the infantry, and if you lose them, then, well, you basically lose veterancy for everything, and that is the last thing you want. that's another thing I actually want to mention in terms of unbalances. I know in 2.602 they've actually made it so that the lieutenant veterancy aura is actually increased, but I don't know, I actually believe that's still quite unfair. I believe the lieutenants should maybe be a bit more hardier, because they really do die a bit so easy. Even though you might keep them far back behind your squads, for some reason they'd still end up dead for whatever reason. I don't know why, they just end up dead, and it's such a major loss considering that that's veterancy for your entire army. That's a huge thing. And I believe it's sort of unbalanced that it really relies on one unit and he's so easy to kill. Just my opinion, IMO, or IMHO in my honest opinion. Alright, so the Brits are taking quite a bit of losses there, and this is where I was going to mention about the turning point of the of what was going to happen. Those grenadiers coming on in here, destroying a whole bunch of the Allies' force, and plus the constant hummel on the Brits' base, just absolutely wearing away at him. Look at that again, so costly on manpower. In fact, the Brits have to pack up their HQ and actually force retreat their guys to the Americans' base. The reason is because, well, the Hummels were right there lining on top of their guys. If they just kept them there, I think they could have actually lost their squads. Easy as that. So they're retreating to the Americans' base. And yet again, the costliness of the infantry. So it's good that he's actually relocating his guys or to something else. He's got an armored command truck out. He's got a chromo command tech, and it's also helping with the priest. So I'm not exactly sure what kind of bonuses it would give a priest, but I believe maybe it's just going to help it fire faster. I suppose you could say that's what it generally does anyway, just helps vehicles fire faster. So there we go, and key of wall, obviously with, oh, well, we never mentioned what doctrine he went for, but I kind of believe it's kind of obvious now. It's not key of wall, it's NTD. NTD is the Hummel, so he's gone for the scorched earth, so that is along the right hand side. He's also got the left hand side, so that is the booby traps in the building and the points, and also down with the sector artillery, and he's also gone along down the right hand side with the towards the Hummel, so the roadblocks, and then the something else, and then the Hummel. I know it's something important. I know. It's scorched earth. Scorched earthing points is a very underused ability. Obviously, we saw that in one of my last casts. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! NTT is rightly so laughing at the moment because that just obliterated an entire. Wow! That just absolutely annihilated the Brits right there. A single homo strike, just lining right on top of the Brit squads. Wow. I don't think there's really much else you can say about that. The Brits are putting down a casualty clearance center. They need to get healed up. Most importantly, they need to get the dead back turned into zombie squads. But I don't know, man. I really don't know. I think the Brits are so confused at the moment. They need to defend their base, but they can't do that because, well, they need to put down a casualty cleaning center, but they can't do that because there are panthers and everything is literally pouring down on the guys now. And oh my god, these squads are being run over by the panthers. And this is what I mean by how I feel for unbalances with the PE. Look at that, they've got multiple panthers. Actually, is this NTD? Yeah, they're all NTD. They're all Panzer Leap panthers. And look at this, he's almost got enough manpower. If one of these was to be destroyed, or two of them, he could instantly call out another Panther battle group. And this is exactly, oh my god, everything's being crushed now. This is the changing point that I was talking about. Everything falling apart. As soon as those Grenadiers came in, killed off a few of the buildings and just annihilated a bunch of the Brits. Yeah, that was the major turning point. And so here we go. I mean, the Axis are having such a hard time. But, you know, my opinion is, where have the Allies, where have the Americans been this entire game? I've actually no clue. It seems like we've been really focusing on the Brits and the PE and the Wehrmacht, but where have the Allies been? I actually have absolutely no clue whatsoever. Where have the Americans been? You know, we saw a few stray artillery or anti-tank guns. We saw a few riflemen, which aren't even upgraded. So really, where have the Americans been in this game? I have absolutely no clue. I don't even know, to be honest, guys. I just haven't seen them anywhere at all. Maybe I haven't been focusing on them, but I think more so it's probably not really participating or providing these support that they should have been. Alright, so there you go, guys. The Panthers are taking so much damage. And I'm going to keep on hitting this point because I really do believe it's quite unbalanced, but especially in late game, 1,000 manpower for a Panther is ridiculous, or for two Panthers. As soon as you destroy one or two, they'll have enough manpower probably to call out another Panther battle group, and it becomes ridiculously hard considering how Panthers are hard to destroy. IMO, in my opinion, if they were to change it, maybe change it to, I don't know, make it more costly, but more so, I don't know, maybe just make the Panthers a bit easier to kill or something. It's ridiculous, especially when they get their veterancy, especially veterancy 3 with defensive, and it just becomes absolutely ridiculous at that point. It's just so hard to kill them. Anyway, so what else is going on? It looks like a lot of damage has been done to the Allies. They really lost a lot of stuff right there. And so there you guys go. I mean, they have lost loads and loads and loads of stuff. Oh god. Okay, so the Allies, I'm not sure how they're going to really get back into the race now. It looks like MxZeroFlames has actually relocated his 4th command truck, his new one, over here, and already he's losing everything. He had a few squads out, but already he's losing everything. He has nothing to counter all of these grenadiers and the pack. Absolutely nothing to counter it, and so it's going to be quite futile. For whatever reason, we've got a mine over here. I believe this mine should actually be down here. It could be a lot more effective, but maybe place that down earlier in the game, probably so. And so the Axis are putting down a bunker here, covering the VP. So 252 for the Axis, 195 for the Allies. And you can just look at the Allies base, and they are really taking a lot of damage. I mean, you can see this half destroyed stuff. Priest trying to do as much as possible, but the Hummels, where are they now? Moving on forward, trying to do as much damage as possible as they can. And so there you guys go. They've got veterancy 3 out, so I believe that with offensive, so I believe they're obviously doing that with trying to fire faster. And yeah, definitely so. There you guys go. Just kind of interesting because in a 2v2 replay, I believe it was the second game or 2 games ago, a PE player went for double defensive veterancy on a mortar half track. I couldn't really understand it. For some reason, people were saying it's kind of useless to go for offensive veterancy because a lot of people just go for the incendiary rounds with mortar half tracks. But I have to sort of disagree. I mean, the normal half track rounds are really, really effective. I mean, you're not going to constantly just shoot incendiary rounds, are you? You're always going to be using those mortar half track rounds anyway. So I think personally going for offensive veterancy is going to be a lot better for a mortar half track, just because you'll be shooting faster, and ideally what should happen is that nobody should get to your mortar half track anyway, so you won't need that defensive veterancy. You won't need to keep it alive longer because, well, it's going to be at the back. That's what it should be anyway. Alright, so the middle is totally in the hands of the Axis now. They have such a strong grasp of it. The Brit has relocated his point up north, but he really does not have much in terms of an army right now. He's got a single Brent squad, a lieutenant, and a Cromwell command tank, and a priest, and that's it. That is literally it for the Brits. So he got a Cromwell command tank just strictly for a priest? Okay, fair enough. I don't know, maybe he should have actually gone for a few Sherman Fireflies. That could have helped. I think that would have been a lot better than going for all this infantry. Would definitely have survived a bit longer. You know, a few Brent squads and Sherman Fireflies could definitely help against these Panthers and the Shreks. And they'd obviously survive a lot longer against the Hummels. But that is all if. It is also hypothetical, isn't it? Also hypothetical, indeed. Right, so the PE are just trying to wear away at these guys, at the Allies. They know they've got this in the back. 87 points left. The only thing that could counter or turn this around is if somehow there's some sort of, I don't know, off-map combat group. There was multiple M10s, and maybe there's some Sherman Fireflies that could come out, and then they started pummeling away at these Panthers, and there's some Brent squads or riflemen to counter against the Panther Shreks. I believe that that's probably the only chance that the Allies have at the moment, but that is such a costly idea or hypothetical strategy. If it's going to be successful, they actually need all that resources to be able to build that stuff, but I don't actually think they have the necessary resources. So Priest just trying to do something, and we've got the Brit calling on another Priest. I'm not sure if I can agree with that. You know, I think they need more normal units rather than artillery at the moment, because they don't really have much in terms of countering this stuff. So a single sticky coming down on top of the Panthers and just trying to do as much as they can, but still so futile. so very futile. I mean, it's kind of pointless to throw down the sticky on a panther when you know you're going to be retreating. Kind of wasteful to be wasting resources like that, because it's just going to get repaired. Look at that. Look at that. It's just getting repaired right now. The PE also have the Kampf group of companies, so they can get the advanced repairs on their grenadiers, their Panzer grenadiers, and so it doesn't really matter. And there you go. So 2 Panzer grenadiers are just repairing it, probably with advanced repair. Alright, so the PE are moving on in, and there's really nothing to counter to all this stuff. So I believe everything is just going to move on in now. There's no MG emplacement. There's only artillery pieces. Only artillery pieces and a few stray rifleman squads. That is it. Nothing to counter all this stuff. And the allies are really falling apart now. And whoa, I wasn't even paying attention to the VPs, but apparently that was the end of the game. What? Okay. 2-5-2 for the Axis and 3 for the allies. Alright, so the Axis obviously won that, and the point that I want to make is most likely the Axis won that from that turn of point of events. So the Brits were moving on forward, and that left the Axis a perfect opportunity with their Grenadier blob to move on forward with the Panzerschrecks and just destroy a bunch of stuff. And when those Brits retreated back, they only had a few men left in those squads, and so the Grenadiers started throwing a whole bunch of grenades on top of them and killed a whole bunch of them. And yet again, I'm gonna hit the point with a lot of these Brits with their infantry sections, so very costly to reinforce, and so the Brits were always constantly low on manpower and always wasting manpower reinforcing their guys, and so that was their demise. I mean, just always, it's really all about resources. If you're constantly low on resources, then basically you're gonna be failing in the end, and so that's what happened with the Brits. Also, I have no clue what happened with the Americans. We pretty much never seen them in this game at all. We saw a few stray men, M10, and that was about it. I really have no idea where the Americans were in this game. Alright, so well done to NTD and Kiev Vol for winning this game. Obviously, it was very competitive, a lot of stalemates in the center side, but they managed to actually make a push when it was needed. These homos were absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the Veteran 3 on both of them is just absolutely ridiculous, and so they won. So alright, now let's hit up a few closing messages. Please check out the video about the battle cancer that I've done. I'm going to provide that link. Please check it out. It would really help, and I really appreciate it. Again, if we can get to about 1,000 what was it, 200 views did I say, or 300 or something like that, then I will be doing a double cast. Also, I left you guys a few questions, or a question in the last game about who your heroes are, and now a lot of you mentioned quite a few heroes, so I'm gonna post the pictures of what your guys' messages were right in front of the screen here. Okay, and now you can just see the few people who left their messages about what their heroes were and who they look up to, and you know, heroes are very important, and that's what I'm gonna close off by saying with. Now, for the question for next week, I suppose, or not next week, but next cast, is: do you believe that the Panzer Elite Panther Battle Group is unbalanced? Do you believe the Panthers should have some sort of change on them? Do you think that 1,000 manpower is too costly or too cheap for 2 Panthers? Do you believe that the Panthers are generally just too strong? Leave your comments in the description below, or you can also send me a video response. Nobody has done it. I don't actually believe anyone's going to do it. But yeah, there you guys go. Of course, until next time, have a very nice day.